Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Cape Rugby TV time. We take a look at what's happening in the world of West Province Club Rugby. It's fantastic to have you along. And the Gees is back. Well, I wouldn't say it's been gone at all, but everybody's talking club rugby. So we'll just keep saying that the Gees is back. Big thanks, of course, to our partners on board with us, Score Energy Drinks. I'm going to give you a chance to win yourself a case of Score. A little bit later during the course of the show, you can go into our Facebook page, but we'll explain that to you a little bit later. And of course, CyberSmart, internet service providers, your internet hosting and service company, www.cybersmart.co.za. We'll talk to you more about that as well a little bit later. So, folks, we've got a full show for you tonight. We're going to talk to guys from SK Walmers, Rangers, Hamadiers, Silvertree, and we've got a couple of videos that came in from some of the clubs. So, and we'll take a look at the friendly fixtures coming up. But in studio with me, and for those of you that don't know, he was on the very, very first show of Cape Rugby TV, historically, 15 years ago. Mooneb, Levy. Mooneb, nice to have you back, Mooneb.
Nice to have me back, JP.
I'm just wondering, am I really saying that last I saw you on the show was 15 years ago?
No, I had a few appearances afterwards.
You've been, fantastic to have you here. Through and through a club rugby person, so I know we're going to have a lekker chat tonight. And Ashraf Joseph, chairperson of Hamadiers. Ashraf, welcome. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. My inaugural on the show, so
really?
I'm really pumped. Once again, thanks, and we can just share our stories to the audience.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. You know, at the moment, the stories that people are coming about, and we're going to talk to you guys about a lot of different things still, but the main story that guys are talking about is how was day one of 2025? You know, how many people arrived at practice, and so far, all the clubs that have been on the show and the feedback we've gotten is that there's big turnouts for day one, and a few more on day two, but they're happy with the turnouts. I don't know, Mooneb, at SK, how's you guys? You didn't really stop.
Yeah, I was going to allude to that now. I think day one started 2 weeks after our season ended.
Yeah.
That was actually day one, and the numbers that was at practice was I just looked at it in awe, and also important, the people who were on the practice. You could see they've learned a thing or two of the previous season, and I think it was a big wake-up call for them, because from where we came from, remember in 2023, we, no disrespect to anyone, but we walked Super League B. Out of the 16 games, we only lost one game.
Yes.
But I think that put the guys a bit on a pedestal, and they thought they could just come back into Super League A and just arrive, and it was a rude awakening for the club.
Hamadiers, Ashraf, for you guys, also same question. How was day one?
Yeah, I think also with what Mooneb has mentioned, day one starts immediately after the last day of the previous season. Yeah. However, with Hamadiers, it was a bit slightly different this time around, a bit shaky, bit of restructuring, and getting everyone again realigned and focused. But if we look at where we are now, we are in full swing. Practices are well attended. So if you come out to Vygieskraal, you'll see our high schools, our primary schools, our senior structure, full out, and it's just exciting. And what speaks to me is more participants from the community is a healthier community. And that is lovely thing.
So we are going to show some clips from City Park. We'll find them in a second, folks. But when I talk to both of you, the thing that just jumps out for me from a mental point of view is two typical memories of what SK and Hamadiers, and it's almost an identical memory. And the one memory is your playoffs, Mooneb, at City Park, with the team running to the fans on the other side of the fence. Yeah. And almost identical memory for Hamadiers. I can't recall who you played in the playoffs, also in the quarterfinals at City Park, with the guys going through the tunnel and the fans all supporting the community support that you guys have at a club level is something to behold. And I think a lot of people are quite jealous of having that type of, but there's a commonality there, Mooneb, very much structures that have got a great supporters base, win or lose.
It's, I think traditionally, if you look at Scottish Kloof, SKW Walmers, SK Walmers and Amadeus, I'll just take it back to where we originated from before unification. All these clubs, and I'm speaking about Scottish Kloof and Walmers, Amadeus, Kellys, Rangers, Youngsters, everyone. All of us used to congregate on a Sunday, and it was a family day, it was a neighborly day. You must remember, when District 6, when people were put out of District 6, it put the people all to different areas.
Yeah.
And that Sunday was where old friends meet, and they all come together. And it was a catch-up, and all the teams to play on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And it emanates from that.
Well, I was at the Hamadias, I think, Hamadias Collegians game.
Yeah.
Was it in the first game of the season? Was it opening game? Was it Collegians? Or was it SK?
SK.
No, it was against SK. Yeah,
SK,
we were
you
there.
still came, yeah.
We were there together, yes.
Yeah.
And Hamadias SK, and I mean, we'll talk about City Park in a second now again. But the turnout that you had, I mean, it took me more than an hour to get out of the parking lot again.
Yeah, no, JP, that was special, and these are the types of events that you want to showcase to the community, because then the community firstly looks forward, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a build up. You wouldn't imagine the build up of the Collegians versus Amadeus game.
Yeah.
It was a build up for a few years. I think even now this season going to what we call Krifgat,
Yeah.
after so many years. You know, we playing them probably almost 2 decades ago, and won that match 3-0. So that just
That's
gives
right.
you an indication of how long it is.
I recall on the day, I think either you or someone told me that the last time you guys had played against each other was something like 1969 or
No,
long?
not
Okay.
that long.
Who
Not
was
that
that?
long.
SK and Collegians, and they had
Yeah,
last played against.
Amadeus, yeah.
But a massive, I mean, I saw, exactly what you're saying there is that a lot of the fans, there were so many rows of fans. It did look like, a little bit, Mooneb, what you were saying is people that were there to meet each other again and see each other. The game was maybe the drawing card, but the main thing was the sharing of the vibe.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. Like Mooneb has also mentioned, it's family orientated. So what I would have, I'm with Amadeus, but I would have family at Rangers, at Collegians, at SK, friends. You know,
Yeah.
it's a big community, and it's a passionate community.
Yeah, and the thing, and we've got about 2 minutes left of this segment, and we'll come back after the break. But Mooneb, when we look at that type of turnout, this is the type of turnout that any sponsor, investor wants to be involved in. When you come to a field on a Saturday afternoon, you see 5,000 people around the field. That did not take that much hard work to get them there. Sponsors or local business can immediately see why
impact.
it's a good idea to invest in your club.
First, 3 things. Besides the game, secondly, it's a big money spinner for both clubs, because, you know, funds is always needed.
Yeah.
And thirdly, it just gives an indication to the sponsors that, wow, this is what community rugby is all about. And maybe how can I get my product to these crowds out here?
Yes. Well, yeah. So folks, we're talking today, SK Walmers, Rangers, Hamadias, Silvertree. We're still waiting for the guys from Rangers and Silvertree to join us, and we'll be joined by Renzel Botman as well, bring us a little club rugby update. But all that and more still coming up. You're watching Cape Rugby TV, on Cape Town TV, DSTV channel 263. Remember, we're of course talking about Western Bromwich Club Rugby every Wednesday from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And of course on Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It is all happening right now. Don't forget, we're going to give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks shortly. So stay tuned, because we're going to give you some tips. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.